I'm Melissa Shanahan, and this is the Velocity Work Podcast, episode number 144. This podcast is for attorneys who are running their own firms. We explore tactics, tools, and stories related to pushing past simply lawyering well and into building a successful firm. Working in your firm and working on your business are two very different things. This podcast focuses on the latter. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode. I'm so glad that you're here. We are talking about your calendar today and how to use your calendar to improve and upgrade the level of trust that you have with yourself. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I did an episode called Is Your Self-Image a Match for the Firm That You're Building? I got really good feedback from that episode, and I thought that I would because I had been dealing with it internally with clients and members. So I knew that this was a topic that was relevant for listeners. My dear friend, Tanya Lee, whose work centers around self-image, her work is incredible. She and I have these conversations a lot about, we don't always use the term self-image, but these are the kinds of things that we talk about, is how to tactically and also just through mindset upgrade your self-image. Because if you don't, you're going to find yourself in a place where the results that you do get for yourself are slippery. It isn't your new foundation because your self-image hasn't caught up yet with your success. So it's just super important to stay on top of. Well, what we're going to talk about today is using your calendar to level up the way that you see yourself, to see yourself in much more integrity and in alignment with where you're going and who you need to become, and also to increase the level of trust that you have with yourself. A worthwhile exercise that you can do to increase your level of awareness around this and to improve, like use your calendar to improve your relationship with yourself, is to look at your day so far. How have you spent each hour of the day so far? And do you like what that says about you? How you've spent your day so far, even if it's unconscious, it confirms underlying beliefs you have about yourself. So ask yourself, when you look at it, do I like what this is confirming? Do I like what this says about me? So I'll use myself as an example, and we'll kind of walk through this, how I look at this. So far this morning, I have met with a new vendor that we're going to use. I interviewed a candidate for a very important role in my company. I recorded a video to help Mastery Group members prep for their strategic planning retreat that's coming up in a couple weeks. I had a coaching call with a private client, and now I'm recording this podcast. Okay, so that's my morning so far. That's the events that have happened today. And the truth is that it confirms how I spend my time will confirm beliefs about myself. And so in this instance, the beliefs that it's confirming is I am a successful business owner. I am a great coach. I value my time. I create results. I help law firm owners create results. I'm disciplined. I'm on point. I get things done. Those are the kinds of beliefs that a morning like this morning will confirm about myself. And not to the world, right? I don't really care about that. But to me, for me, it confirms my own beliefs I have about myself. Now, let's be clear. There are days that don't always look like this. There are days that I don't like what my calendar says about me. I don't like the activity that I've done in my day. When I look back on it, I don't like what it says about me. Because when I spend a day, for example, I'm sitting down to do some sort of work, and then I have a ding or a ping on my phone, and I look at my phone, and then I get caught up in messages. And then somehow my finger clicks the Facebook app. And then from there, I'm reminded that I forgot to do something to do with a family member. And so then I'll go take care of that. And then you just get derailed. And then you realize, oh my gosh, wow. So here's the truth. Days like that, they happen less and less. But days like that, I don't like what it says about me. It says things like, I'm not disciplined. I procrastinate. I don't complete things. I get off track. These are not good beliefs to have about yourself, because these beliefs shape how you see yourself and overarching how you see yourself. And you will always, as we talked about a couple of episodes ago, you will always live in harmony. You always act in harmony with how you see yourself. It's very important, but we don't realize it, and we don't take control where we can take control. This is an area that you can use. You can use your calendar to start to have an awareness that will allow you to shape your beliefs about yourself in a better way, in a way that will deliver you to where you really want to go, in a way that will allow you to really step up and become the kind of person you need to become in order to have the kind of firm and results in your life, period, that you want to have. But it starts here. It's an interesting exercise to be able to look at your calendar and to say, do I like what this says about me? Do I like the beliefs that this is confirming? And if you don't, there's your opportunity to start to shift some things around when it comes to your calendar and when it comes to how you spend your time. And probably, if you're anything like me, and it will help you realize the importance of planning how you're going to spend your time and then honoring your plan. Because truly, if you don't plan what you're going to get done in a day and when you're going to do those things, like actually calendaring them, then of course it sets you up to be less intentional with how you spend your time. This is why the process that we teach, Monday Map and Friday Wrap, this is why it's so important. It's not about being perfect, making the perfect plan and honoring it perfectly. That's not what it's about. It's about being very intentional and then showing up for what you said you were going to do. And one of the byproducts of doing that is not only that you create a lot of really good results, because we all want that, but one of the byproducts that's even maybe more important is that you confirm beliefs about yourself because of how you spend your time. When you look at the hours that you just moved through and you answer the question, what does this say about me? Whatever comes out, those are the beliefs that you have about yourself. Those are the beliefs that are being confirmed by how you just spent your time. And just like we talked about a couple of weeks ago, what you believe about yourself will drive your actions, and your actions will always reinforce your beliefs about yourself. So if you want a different set of results, if you want to create something you've never created before, a different level for yourself, this has to be up leveled as well. And you can use your calendar to help your mindset up level, and that amount of trust between you and you, really strengthen that. Because the more you do that, the better actions it drives. And then those actions will reinforce the beliefs you have about yourself that are the kinds of beliefs that you need to have to create the results that you want to create. I thought I'd share an example with you today of a law firm owner I know who's struggling to really see themselves as a great owner. They lifted their firm off the ground. They got it off the ground. It's a pretty new firm and things are going well, but they don't see themselves as a good owner. There's a transition that most people go through when they start a law firm. At some point, you start to make the mental switch, or you have the opportunity to make the mental switch from being a lawyer who owns their own firm, instead thinking first of yourself as a business owner who happens to be a lawyer. That's a very different energy to what you believe about yourself. And that shift is not a cakewalk for some people. This person in particular was struggling with that. They don't see themselves as a strong business owner. They see themselves as a so-so business owner, a mediocre business owner. Doing it, right? Doing it. Clearly they have a firm functioning, but they don't identify as a strong business owner. And when I ask them, what are you doing day to day? How are you spending your time? And I ask for specifics and they share them with me. It's clear that how they're using their time is not creating beliefs that they're a great law firm owner. There's an opportunity here to use your calendar as a tool to strengthen the identity that you have, to strengthen your identity and to build the identity that you want to build. And so now they're paying a lot more attention to their calendar, and they're using their calendar as a tool to confirm what they believe about themselves. And they set themselves up so that it's easy to believe what they want to believe about themselves. And many of us haven't really asked ourselves what we want to believe about ourselves. That's not a question we ask. If I asked you what you currently think about yourself, you would probably be able to rattle off some things. Some of them would probably be good, and some of them would probably be very unuseful. But the truth is, it's all just a narrative, and you can shape the narrative that you have about yourself by using your calendar. So Monday Map, Friday Wrap is a process that I teach inside of Velocity Work, and everyone is expected to practice it. There is no such thing as perfection. I teach this stuff and I'm not perfect at it. That's not the point. The point is being very intentional with deciding ahead of time how you're going to spend your time and then honoring that plan. And that creates a lot of integrity. It keeps increasing the level of integrity within you because you are doing what you said you were going to do. Now, people, most of the time when they start this process, they do not have that strength, that strong of a belief about themselves that they actually do what they say they're going to do. And most of the time they feel a little powerless to that. But the process of Monday Map teaches you how to get very honest about how long you need to do certain things instead of cramming it all in and saying you're going to finish these things in 2 hours. And really you need 3.5 or 4 to do all the things you had planned to do. Or like we'll double book ourselves, and it's all just in an effort to cram it in on the calendar and say we're going to get these things done when really we didn't make a realistic plan. From the get-go, there was a lack of integrity with the planning because there wasn't honesty with the planning. Now, some people don't plan that way. They just have a running to-do list, which is still very similar because it's not getting really honest about what's possible to mark off of the to-do list because they haven't thought through it and they haven't scheduled time when they're actually going to do each of the things that is on the to-do list. Next week, we're going to talk about breaking down projects, which I call it deconstructing projects. So we'll talk about that. That's a really useful tool when you're planning your time. But all of this to be said, that you'll start to notice through the practice of Monday Map that there's a lack of integrity, not with just you showing up, but oftentimes with the planning for how you're going to spend your time. Because if you don't make a plan that's possible, then of course you can't honor it. There's so many facets to learning to use your calendar to confirm beliefs about yourself that matter and that are useful for where you're going. Listen, I believe in each and every one of you. I think about you. I talk to you. When I think about how I'm going to talk to you, I think about it as I'm talking to you on your best day. And you on your best day can hear this at a really high level and you can do something with this. And I believe that you can. And I believe that you should, because the more that you are in alignment and the more integrity that you have and the better that that relationship between you and you, the stronger that that relationship is, the faster you're going to fly towards all the things that you've wanted to create for yourself. And yes, you're going to have to shape your narrative. And yes, I believe that using your calendar is such a powerful way to start to shape your narrative. It requires honesty. It requires discipline. It requires focus. It requires commitment. But it's not just about honoring the plan. It's also about planning. You have to plan well and then honor that well thought out plan. It's so important. Doing that not only gives you great relief because you start to actually you get done the things that you said you were going to get done in a week, and that feels amazing, and you create real results instead of just spinning in busyness. That feels amazing. And all along the way with that practice, you produce a new narrative, you produce new beliefs, you strengthen the way that you see yourself, and all of that becomes the new foundation for what's next and what's next and what's next and what's next. Okay, friends, so go use your calendar to upgrade self-trust. Go use your calendar to upgrade the beliefs you have about yourself. That work is so worth it. Have a wonderful week. I'll see you here next Tuesday. Hey, you may not know this, but there's a free guide for a process that I teach called Monday Map, Friday Wrap. If you go to velocitywork.com, it's all yours. It's about how to plan your time and honor your plan so that week over week, more work that moves the needle is getting done in less time. Go to velocitywork.com to get your free copy.